Because it's God's way. God is testing our faith. God is testing our faith. You remember Peter, John and James, Mount Tabor, Transfiguration. Transfiguration, and Peter was so overwhelmed by the beauty and the splendor of, imagine Jesus became dazzling white, and he couldn't contain his emotions, and he said, let me build 3 tents for you, one for Moses, one for Elijah. And let's just stay here. Let's not go down there anymore. Let's just stay here. It's so beautiful. That just goes to show how beautiful it is in heaven. Because Transfiguration is a foretaste of heaven. In my other classes, when I said this, someone in the back said, foretaste. It's not foretaste, it's foretaste. You understand foretaste? You're tasting it before. Before it happens, it's like a preview. This is the preview of heaven. It's so beautiful. Let's just stay here. What Jesus is trying to do, and this is the main focus of the account on the Transfiguration. Jesus wants you and me to learn from that mountaintop faith. What is our faith? Faith has been formed on the mountaintop, Mount Tabor. We have seen the beauty and the splendor of God. And we have to build that in our faith. But is that enough? It's not enough. That's why Jesus said, what did Jesus say? Tell no one. Remember, tell no one? Don't say anything. Why? Because down in the valley below, we need to apply that faith. It's not enough that you have this mountaintop faith you got from Mount Tabor. You got to go down, descend down to the valley below, and apply it. Teach the faith and show that faith. Live the faith. So others will be carried through. Remember, it is your responsibility to bring your wife or your spouse to heaven. If you have none, cling on to something. Just kidding. You don't have to be married to go to heaven. Oh, we got 2 here. As far as I know, maybe I'm mistaken, but
that's not going to heaven?
St. Paul says you don't have to be married. We have reason to believe that St. Paul was never married. Because he was still young on his way to Damascus to chase those Christians down in Damascus. And that happened to him, this sudden conversion.
And Stephen was young.
Oh, he was young. He was full of life. How can you... What is the best way in your struggle to believe? What is the best way? The best way to move on without struggle to believe.
Surrender.
And be able to, and succeed in believing.
Surrender.
By surrender you mean?
Surrender in faith. You know, let it be. Let God's will be. Stop struggling. It's like, you know, with my situation with my legs. Okay, I'm giving up, but yet not. I'm still doing my thing. I'm still going to work. I'm still going to do what I have to do. But it's God's will until He decides.
Excuse me, shouldn't this be off like every 20 minutes? You're doing that?
By every 15 minutes.
Oh, 15? Okay, I'm sorry. From 2 Fridays ago, I gave you a list. I gave you a list here. The first thing The first one on the list was, you have to admit that you are a sinner. In other words, in order to succeed in your struggle to believe, it's foremost that you admit that you are, or admit to your weaknesses, shall I say. Admit to your weaknesses. Because until you remind yourself and admit to yourself that you are weak, you will never believe. You'll never believe. You know why? Because when you are not weak, that means you're strong. That means you can do things yourself. That means you don't need anybody to help you. You're not weak. Guess what? You lose the struggle.
Isn't there
You
in
lose the
the
fight.
Bible where when he is weak, he is strongest?
It's when you are, yeah, the book of Mark also.
Okay.
Mark chapter 8. And that's actually part of, that's part of our struggle to believe. You see, it is when we are weak, when we are strong. Does that sound logical to you? It's when we are weak, when we are strong. It's because of that. Unless you admit to yourself that you are weak, you can never succeed in your struggle to believe. Because you count on yourself. As long as you count on yourself, you're never going to succeed. We always need God. Tuesday, the journey away from self. Journey away from self. This is the best preparation for Lent. Away from yourself. Apostolic training, slow learners, the hardest lesson. Let's take those up. Mark chapter 9. Yeah, Mark chapter 9. This is when Jesus showed a child. No, bring the child to me. Unless you're like one of these, you'll never go to heaven. It's in Mark chapter 9 that he said that. You know why? Because they were discussing who was the greatest. Who's the greatest? Okay. Who is the greatest cook here?
Your wife. This lady here. Between your wife and
The name is Pam.
Anne. You said Anne?
She has a very strange name. It's the nickname. So who is the greatest among you? Imagine the apostles were discussing that. They were embarrassed because Jesus asked them. Of course Jesus knew. What are you talking about? What are you discussing? Nobody answered because they were discussing who the greatest was. And then that's when Jesus talked about the child. Whoever exalts himself will be humbled. Whoever humbles himself will be exalted. That's the apostolic training. Are we slow learners? There's so many people nowadays, 2,000 years after, who still have not learned the lesson. We were at some point part of an organization, a secular organization, and we were supposed to give help. We were supposed to build something good for the community, you know. And the president at the time said, I want to help, but I want my name carved on stone. I want my name carved on stone so it will never be erased. For what? Don't let your hand know what your left hand is doing. Right? When you fast, wash your face, take shower. You don't have to tell people that you are fasting. Very slow learners. The hardest lesson is if you humble yourself, you'll be exalted. Just humble yourself. I'm saying this to myself too. Exalt yourself and you'll be humble. It's beautiful, beautiful. Just the gospel. Mañana, tomorrow. What's the gospel tomorrow? Mark chapter 9. Wednesday. Wednesday is the beginning of Lent. Ash Wednesday. From dust, and to dust you shall return. Right? From dust you came, to dust you shall return. Father Benedict Rochelle always tells this story. He was giving, in the Bronx, he was giving ashes, distributing ashes. And then this Hebrew woman, he knew her. He was one of his neighbors. He was Jewish. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? And she said, it's okay, just give me the ashes. It doesn't cost anything anyway, it won't hurt. That's what she said. Father Ivan yesterday says, he experienced one woman. Father Ivan was giving communion, the body and blood. And guess, you know what the woman said? She refused. No, I don't want that, I want ashes. He said that in the 10 o'clock mass. I don't know what mass you go. We were together.
I didn't see it.
You didn't hear that?
No.
He said that towards the end of the mass. One of the announcements for the Wednesday, Ash Wednesday. You were in front. What's the point? Every Ash Wednesday, go to New York. Go to Pat train. Go to the subway. A lot of people have these ashes. More people than you can account in the church. Because so many people, in Orlando, if you go there Ash Wednesday, you have to park like 2 blocks away from the church. Because the whole parking lot is packed with cars. Yes. And on the roadsides too. And then following Sunday, there's a lot of free parking lot spaces.
After Easter.
We know that firsthand. And it's just one of the many parishes like that. I'm not sure about here because Ash Wednesday, I'm not able to come here. I go to New York because I'm able to attend Mass over there because over here we don't have. But more people are interested in the ashes than Jesus Christ himself.
Same thing here, it's packed.
Yeah. Why? What's the ashes? Can they sell that?
Like Palm Sunday
Yeah.
and Easter.
Easter is packed.
Oh yeah, those are the part-timers.
Although in the 1 o'clock Mass, I do have to admit that it's been fuller than prior years. They even go upstairs.
Well, they have the school down. That's a mass taking place at the school in the lunchroom or in the auditorium.
Oh, 2 Masses for the Spanish?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
It's not in
No,
the
but
room.
this is the regular. Like yesterday, I was a Eucharistic minister and I noticed that somebody had to go upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. That's good.
Anyway, I won't talk about prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. I gave this to you before, so I'll miss that. Lose the show. You know why people want the ashes? For the show.
For the show.
Yeah, because they walk around the streets with that thing. And sometimes, for good reason, to evangelize. to make people be awake. Countless number of times. I would have my ashes early morning, so I would go to work with that thing on. And you'll see the non-Christians, excuse me, you have some dirt on your face. That's not dirt. That's not dirt. It's Ash Wednesday. Well, what do I mean here? Lose the show. Do not perform good deeds in order to be seen. Do not perform good deeds in order to be seen. That's what it means. You don't have to proclaim to the world that you're doing something good.
God sees it all.
When you hold the door for someone, and that someone did not thank you, what do you do?
Say thank you.
Is that being sarcastic or something?
Why, they held the door for me.
Oh no, I mean, you held the door for someone, and that someone just passed through and just without even looking at you.
Oh, yeah, I get a little ticked off, but then I move on.
You just don't say anything.
No, I don't say it.
You don't have to pronounce and make an announcement to everyone that I held the door for someone.
What?
Joyful sacrifice, you understand that? Joyful sacrifice.
Joyful sacrifice.
You must accept sacrifice.
Joyful?
That's why we have, no meat on Wednesday. You can eat your steak tomorrow. Our classes are Monday, so there's no fasting, right? You know, I have Friday night Bible classes, and we would always strictly observe that no meat. No meat on, especially during then. What about this joyful sacrifice? Remember one of our meditations? If you want to pray, go to your room, close your door, and speak to God who is in that secret place. Remember that? What it means. You don't have to be seen. Gotta lose your show. And pray to your Father in secret. The Father who sees in secret will repay you. Thursday. Oh, by the way, something about this, just to make sure. Whatever you do, whatever sacrifice you do it for the love of God. You're gonna say, okay, for Aritza, I will not drink any more water. It doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? If I have to make sacrifice, how little, how big it may be, it has to be for the love of God. It's not for anything else.